Hi everyone, welcome to Technical RPM. This video we are going to discuss about RPA real-time challenges. Recently, I had attended one interview. So interviewer asked me what are all the challenges you faced in all your project. Before that, I had mentioned I had successfully completed 5 process in RPA. So he asked in each and every process, what are all the challenges you faced, how you are identify and rectified issues, and how the issues will help you further projects to overcome process improvements. So in that case, I had explained to him the first process. I was facing one issue. So what happened was we had completed the development. Once the development has completed, so we are moving into other environment, SIT and UAT environments. So that day we faced some issues. So whatever we developed in our machine, it's working fine in developer machines, which means 2 or 3 machines. But it's not working properly when we moved into UAT server machines. So probably we checked 3 things we get checked. First one is screen resolution. So Windows screen resolution is very important. Whatever you developed in your machine, the resolution must be same as when we moving into other machine. We used IE browser resolution must be 100%. You must have developed through your IE browser 100%. Then when you moved into other environment, we have to check and we have to give the prerequisite. This is the one we developed. We need the same environment. The third thing is the issue which we faced is the network drive. Usually, Windows network drive will accept only 250 characters. For example, I'm using some network drive like n colon shared drive, my project, for etc., something like that. So it must be within 250 characters. Your location within 250 characters only Windows accepted, otherwise Windows will not be accepted. So we spent more than 6 hours to find out this issue. Finally we find out it doesn't accepted more than 250 characters. That is the reason it's my bot has not worked in server or else other machines. This is the challenge we faced. So now we are careful about drive locations and the characters. Then I moved into next process. So what we faced in next process is keystroke issue. Usually we are using keystroke or send key as control C or else control V or else control shift C will used for the same format text we can copy and paste. But sometimes the keystrokes has been worked as expected or send keys, these global send keys. S- But most of the times it's not working as expected. So what we are done is, so we given the default timeout and delay as each and every character. Suppose I'm passing, I want to paste the 100 characters from one Excel sheet to another Excel sheet, which means 100 rows or 100 characters. So I will give defaultly 25 millisecond. Suppose my rows are 1 lakh records or else 2 lakh records, 5 lakh records inside the Excel. Probably I had to increase 50, 100, 200 millisecond. So how it will work? Probably whenever I'm changing my timeout inside the delay or else inside your keystroke, when you are setting keystroke or else when you are setting send keys, it defaultly will ask how many milliseconds delay we need to do for each and every characters. For my last process, that was Excel has more than 3 lakhs records. So what we used is nearly 250 millisecond delay. So probably it will work properly when you increase milliseconds. Default delay it has mentioned you can go with AA and BB, it will be 0, but you have to increase based on your data. Then only it will work reliable. That we identified and rectified. This is one of the challenges we faced. So whenever we are using keystrokes, the keystrokes has and keystrokes must be proper reason. So if I can use any other controls or any other commands instead of keystroke, that would be really good. If no other options, finally I will go to the keystroke or send keys, because send keys are not reliable. It's based on the applications. So if I am using only Excel, instead of keystrokes, I will go to macros, VBA macros. So how we suppose think through that you have one Excel sheet, you have another one Excel sheet. So you want to move 5 lakhs records from one Excel workbook to another Excel workbook. How you can move? So you have only one way that is keystroke you are copying, or else you have to use Excel data option. You have to insert values into next workbook, or else your second option is you can use your VBA, or else your Excel SM concepts. This is the macro concept you can use. It will work very quick. Within the second, 1 second or 2 second, it will copy and paste 1 lakh or 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs records. The second option is VB script. How it will work? It will work as .vbs. You can insert in AA. You have run macro as a VBA, run script as a VBS. The same you can use at Blue Prism or UiPath. UiPath you have execute macros, execute scripts option is you can use. So simply you can search in Google and take. So simply it will take the range of the Excel from A to B, kind of the range. Once range has been selected, it will it will move to next Excel. Then there you have to check the range, which means the initial range. It will take it and it will paste into Excel. So it will be completed on it. So these are the three methods. So based on the data, we have to make sure which concept we have to go, because it's you can't achieve 100% inside your RPA tool. You have to move outside in based on your data. Suppose you are using Excel to Excel, same Excel sheet. Suppose you are using the same Excel sheet. So you want to copy some data from Excel sheet 1 to Excel sheet 2, sheet 1 to sheet 2. So in that case, what you are prepare? For example, in Excel sheet 1, you have 100 employees data. In Excel sheet 2, you want to pass these 100 employees data based on employee name. Probably you can use OLEDB connection. So how this works? This OLEDB will works as a ODBC connections. So what is ODBC? What is OLEDB? See, OLEDB is nothing. It's all about, it's a connector. Whenever you are using database, whenever you are connecting to SQL server, you have to use connection string like database connection name, connection name is database one, provider, you have to give provider equal to OLEDB or else ODBC. So your provider is your connection, which means if you want to connect SQL, your provider is a SQL ODBC, is your provider, and you have to give user ID and password. So these are the details you have to give when you passing connection string from your automation tool to your SQL database. Then you have to use, if you are the passing SQL, then you have to use ODBC. So how it will work? OLEDB, it works as Excel as a database. Excel as a database. If you want to connect Excel within a database, then probably you have to use OLEDB provider. The same connection string you can use as well your SQL, but instead of the provider SQL ODBC, you can use Excel 12.0 or 13.0 OLEDB. That's all. Simply change the connection string and probably you can use your OLEDB connector. So once you are connecting to the OLEDB, it will whatever you queries you are using, select star from your table name, table 1. The same thing you can use in your Excel. Suppose your Excel sheet name is sheet 1. That's all. Instead of select star from your table name, you can use select star from your sheet 1. So it will give you the all the results within your Excel sheet. Simply insert, you can select and you can insert into your sheet 2. So this is the way we can achieve our data copy paste based on our requirements. If you go 100 records, that is different. If you go 1 lakh records or 2 lakh records, that is different. So you have to select here the challenge is you have to select based on your requirement your approach. Your approaches must be very important when you are writing in automation script. Otherwise, it will not work out. So that is very important. Then the next thing is we faced some issue. See, probably in RPA, we have to some interviewers they will ask what is the framework you done in RPA. So as RPA, whatever we are using inside the tool, it's a framework of RPA tools. But inside the tool, we have to create some frameworks, which means, for example, configuration framework. So how we can create this configuration framework? Usually, you we can use config.txt file as a configuration file. All the variables data. Suppose you want to pass some delays, some network path, some local path, and your sheet name and your values within within the client requirement. So these values has to be passed usually in we have to use configuration.txt file. Previously we used config.txt. At initial level you worked in RPA, that maybe you can use config.txt. But the best practices is whenever you are using config.txt, you are initializing the variable inside your RPA tool, maybe AA, RBP, or UiPath. You are initializing the variables and you are reinitializing whenever you want to change the values, you are reinitializing the variable. So initialization and reinitialization has to be happened. But whenever you are using config.xaml, instead of txt, it is the framework for configuration. If you use config.xaml, it will take node. Suppose you are sending string path, file path. Suppose you are sending file path. Probably how will it will work? C colon day one, blah blah blah, etc. So, so you are closing the str file path. So this is the node. You can use this node inside your component. You have to create, you have to initialize your, suppose you are using AA, then probably config.atms. You have to create one component. That component as well, you have to initialize these nodes. This config.atmx or this component you can use in entire application without initializing and reinitializing the variables. It is a one-time activity. So if you are initializing and reinitializing each and every component, it will take more memory. If you are initializing only one time, it will take very less memory, and sometimes we are facing slowness. Most of the developers will know, so it's more slowness. That kind of slowness we achieved through this configuration framework. So in next video, I will show you how the configuration framework real time we can create and real time we can achieve that. Thanks guys, thanks for watching this video. We can l- learn